What's going on, Prestige family, and welcome back to another video where I'm going to be explaining the 3 best investments to make if you're looking to have generational wealth. That is right, a lot of people talk about generational wealth, and I feel like that term has become very overused because most people don't even know what that means. It doesn't mean making $1 million next week, because that isn't generational wealth. Honestly, more people who win the lottery blow their money than keep it. So how do we make enough money and invest enough money to where we can have enough money to retire on, live comfortably, and even pass money down to the next generations? Well, let's talk about it. So a lot of us have this idea of wealth, and most of us have completely misconstrued it to think that making a bunch of money, driving luxury cars, or having a bunch of jewelry means that you are wealthy. But that is not the case. Most of these rappers and influencers that you see with the cash, the jewelry, and the luxury cars, they're not actually wealthy, they're just rich. And those riches don't last that long. Now trust me, as someone who has seen it all and done it all, none of that stuff really means anything. I've owned the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, I've had the jewelry and the luxury watches and all of it. And honestly, none of it really means anything. They're all just liabilities. But what I want to talk about in this video is where to put your money, even if you're not making that much, where if you leave it there for years, 10, 20 years, you'll be rich no matter what you do. So let's talk about some investment vehicles that you can use right now. The first investment vehicle we're going to talk about are trust funds. Now, trust funds are super important, and unfortunately, we don't get taught about them, which means that most of us don't utilize them until it's too late. The earlier you get in, the cheaper it is and the more money you'll make. Let's talk about it. So a trust fund is essentially an umbrella. So let's say you have an LLC or a business that's generating income. What you're going to do is put that LLC underneath your trust fund. By doing this, you're going to save yourself a bunch of money on taxes and also protect yourself from potential lawsuits. Now, trust funds are an amazing way to grow your wealth because there are certain tax savings and benefits that you get just by owning one, and your money can compound and grow tax-free within these trust funds. Now, personally, I own a trust fund because I know that eventually I'm going to pass everything down to my children. And by having it in a trust fund, they won't have to pay the capital gains tax that they would if I was to give it to them straight through my business LLC. So owning a trust fund not only protects you, saves you money on taxes, and allows your money to grow exponentially, but it's also an amazing way to create real generational wealth. Now we're going to go into the next one, which ties in directly with trust funds. This one is called a life insurance policy. And this time we're going to be talking specifically about IUL and whole life insurance policies. Now, I want to briefly talk about how messed up the school system is, because why is it that you're just now finding out about most of this stuff that I'm telling you through this YouTube video when they should have been teaching you in school? They didn't teach us about trust funds, life insurance policies, how to get a good credit score, or even how to set up a simple online business. But they did teach us how to dissect a frog. Like that's gonna mean anything. Now the reason why is because the school system doesn't want to create entrepreneurs. What good is it to the government to have a bunch of people who know how to save on taxes, who know how to start their own business and aren't dependent on them? That means you're giving them less money and there's less workers out in the field. So they created the school system. The guy who created the school system himself even said that I want a nation of workers, not free thinkers. They created the school system to create workers. That's why they didn't teach us any of this stuff that actually matters. Now that's where I come in, because my entire goal in life is to expose the truth and give everyone the financial literacy that they need in order to escape the 9-to-5 rat race. Now, getting back into life insurance policies. The beautiful thing about a life insurance policy, and the reason why it guarantees you generational wealth, is because literally, if anything happens to you, you're gonna hand over a massive sum of money to your kids or to your family or whoever you choose as the beneficiary, tax-free. Not only that, but the main reason why I utilize a life insurance policy is because I can use the money in my life insurance policy to invest in the stock market, and I don't have to pay taxes on that money. Which means that if I can just make 12% on an annual basis, by the time I am 50 years old, I should be worth $100 million with the amount that I am investing right now. Now, even if you're not investing an insane amount of money, just investing a couple $100 every single month is gonna make you a millionaire when you retire. It's basic math. Even if you do just what the stock market does, which is an annual gain of just 9%, investing a couple $100 every month for the next 20 years guarantees you're a millionaire. But most people don't know it. So they spend their money or they just leave it in the bank to sit there And in the bank, it's not gaining anything. What the bank does is what you should be doing. The bank takes your money out of your bank account and they invest it. They give it to people for mortgages, they put it in the stock market, and then when you go into the bank and you want a lump sum of money, they say they don't have it because they invested it. So they need time to go and get the liquidity. This is the same thing that you should be doing. Do not leave your money in the bank. Instead, get a life insurance policy, invest in it every single month, and then the beautiful thing about it is I can take loans outside of my life insurance, which means that 2 years down the road, if I need $1 million loan to buy some real estate, I can take it out of my life insurance policy instead of going to the bank, which means that I'm literally my own bank. And so I can take that loan, invest in the real estate, then pay that loan back with the profits that I make from the real estate. It's literally how these people make millions of dollars by creating their own banks. This is the family banking system. Unfortunately, we don't get taught this, but this is how millionaires create generational wealth. It's not by buying a Lamborghini or Ferrari, it's by setting up your own bank. And then at the end of the day, you're still investing the money in your life insurance into the stock market, which means that the money you're investing is making money for itself. It's literally a loop of money, and every single one of us is missing out because we don't have the information, which is why I say knowledge is key. Now, the third thing I'm going to talk about is your credit score. Your credit score is super important for how you're going to be able to liquidate when you need it. So a lot of people use their own money, and OPM is so important. If you don't know what OPM is, it is other people's money. You never want to use your own money because you want to be able to use it for different varying strategies of investments. When you use OPM, you're using other people's money. Now, having a good credit score comes down to a few things. It's your credit history, your credit length, and whether you have any delinquencies, meaning that you have payments you haven't made or anything like that. Now, having a good credit score is really important because it helps you buy a house, it helps you make investments, and it even determines whether the bank is going to give you loans or lines of credit when you need them. Now, I highly suggest if you are young or old, but especially young, you start building your credit now. This should definitely be a class in college. They should teach you how to get good credit, because at the end of the day, dissecting a frog is not going to make you rich, but having good credit very well could if you know how to use it right. Now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is setting up your own business. I highly suggest that if you're looking to create generational wealth, you stop looking at a one-way track of making money. Most people have their job and that is all they do, when they could be doing so much more. See, the old way of making money where you work a 9 to 5 until you're 50 years old and retire, it doesn't work anymore. With inflation going up and the cost of living going up, the sad part is that the wages aren't going up with inflation, which means that if inflation continues to go up, we're not going to be able to make enough money to keep up. So no, having a 9 to 5 is not good enough. And a lot of people say, well, it's risky starting a business. What's more risky? Having one source of income that could be taken away from you at any time, or owning your own source of income? I would definitely say owning your own source of income is less risky. So start up an e-commerce business. It's very simple. It's not that risky, and you can do it outside of your 9 to 5 pretty much passively. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna head over to TikTok Shop, you're gonna set up an LLC, you're gonna find a trending product. You're gonna market that product using the affiliate strategy, meaning that you're gonna go to the TikTok Shop Affiliate Center, you're gonna find influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers who are gonna promote your products for you. Now, these influencers, they're not making money. And the thing is, as an influencer, your lifestyle is based on the money that you can make. So now thousands of affiliates are partnering up with people like me on my brand because they need money. And so we have brands like this portable smoothie blender that are doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month simply because fitness influencers are promoting this and collecting 10% of their revenue. So they know that if they can get this out to 1 million people and they get a viral video and they make me 10K, they can make $1,000 just for posting a video. Now, this is used the drop shipping model. So the drop shipping model means you don't need to ship or label anything yourself. You don't even need to have the inventory. See, the thing is, we connect to CJ Dropshipping, and what they do is they ship out our product as soon as we get the order. So we're just the middleman. We're just getting the people to buy from us. When they buy, we pay the manufacturer price. So let's say this is $5 from the manufacturer. What we're gonna do is we're gonna charge $30 on our website. So we're gonna make $25 in profit per unit that we sell. If we sell 10 a day, we make $350. That is how you think like an entrepreneur. It's not about how much time you can give for money. It's about how much you can leverage your time for money. That's the difference between the rich and the poor. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm gonna make more just like it. I appreciate you watching this video. And if you're interested in learning more about TikTok Shop or e-commerce or what I do, click down below or comment the word e-com and I'll shoot you more information. Let's get to this money, guys. Much love, kings and queens.